What's up, everybody? I am Jaspreet Singh and welcome to the Minority Mindset. The people who never learn the rules of money will always be ruled by money, which is why you, who, me? Yes, you need to learn the rules of money. The 10 laws of money that I'm gonna go over today are not things that you can just find in a textbook somewhere. These are things that I learned from starting and running my own business, from investing, and most importantly, making a whole lot of expensive mistakes. But before we get into the 10 laws, make sure you hit that thumbs up button below, because if you don't hit that thumbs up button, YouTube doesn't show our video to anybody else. Money law number 1. Money is emotionless. Having money doesn't make you an evil person, and having money doesn't make you a good person. Having money just gives you fuel for your life. And you, as the controller of your fuel, get to decide how you want to use your fuel. Your money is emotionless. It doesn't care what you tell it to do. Aw, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, Benji. Your money does whatever you tell it to do. If you want to be an a-hole, hey, having money will let you be an even bigger a-hole. If you love serving meals to hungry people, having money will let you serve even more meals. Money law number 2. Money does not reward hard work. If money rewarded hard work, then the highest paid people would be the construction workers, the laborers, and the people working retail and restaurant jobs. Newsflash, they're not. If you work as a consultant making $100,000 a year and you work 10 hours a day and you wanted to make more money, you could work harder at your job, and now you might be working 15 hours a day and you might get a 10% or a 20% pay bump if you're lucky. You're working really hard to make more, but you're only marginally making more money. But at the same time, your boss might be making 10 times more than you, but they're not working any harder. It's because money does not reward hard work. Money rewards unique value creation. But this is where things get tricky, because if you want to create a whole lot of unique value, you need to work really hard to create this unique value. But the difference here is now you're working hard to create more unique value, where you have an unlimited earning potential, versus before you were working hard to make more money where you only have a marginal return. Money law number 3. Money hates sitting still. The Federal Reserve Bank can print money 1,000,000 times faster than you can work for it. When you make your money sit still, it's becoming less and less valuable. Your money would much rather be out working, attracting you friends, and making you more money. Ulysses, meet your new friend, Ben. That's why money goes to people who know how to use their money. Like when you go shopping, the business owner is the one making money because they use their money to buy things that will make them money, versus you're using your money to buy things that will lose you money. And when you save your money in the bank, you are forcing your money to sit still. Don't move, Benji. That's when your bank comes in and says, okay, you are abusing your money, so we're gonna come in and we're gonna use your money for you, because your money hates sitting still and you don't know how to use your money. That's when your bank comes in and they take that $1,000 or whatever you deposited in your savings account, and they turn around and they loan your savings to John, so that way he can get a mortgage, or so he can get a line of credit, or so he can get a credit card. Now your money is working really hard for your bank, attracting them a lot of money through interest, while you get next to nothing because you wanted to abuse your money. And this brings me to money law number 4. With no risk comes no return. If you want to be wealthy, you need to ask yourself 2 things. 1, what are my life goals? And 2, how fast can I double my money? And then see if these answers align. If you start off with $10,000 and you double it, you have $20,000, double that, $40,000, double that, $80,000, double that, $160,000, double that a few more times, you're at $1.28 million. And now every time you double your money, you are making millions. The faster you can double your money, the more wealth, and the more freedom you will have. But this is where your risk needs to align with your life goals. When you save all of your money in a savings account paying 0.05% a year, it will take you 138 years for your money to double. Your money isn't going anywhere and you will never achieve your goals. If you put your money into a high interest rate CD, certificate of deposit paying 2.5% a year, it will take you 28 years to double your money. Still, nothing significant or meaningful is going to come out of this. If you invest your money in stocks or real estate and you can get a 10% return a year, now you can double your money every 7 years, and now we're talking because now you can double your money 7 times over your lifetime. If you started off with $10,000 over a lifetime, you could end up with over 10 million. If you start your own business, now you are physically working to grow your money and you can see returns of 30 to 100% a year. If you just stick with the lower amount, 30% a year, now your money will be doubling every 2.6 years. And so what took you a lifetime to do here, you could do in 30 years. The further you go down this list, the better your returns are, but it comes with more risk. When you put your money in your savings account, you got no risk. You give your money to the bank and you can access your money whenever you want, but that's why you get no reward, no returns. When you put your money into a CD, now your money is tied up for a few years, which is why you get a better return, but it's still nothing meaningful. Now, when you invest your money into the stock market or in real estate, now you can get a better return on your money, but you can also lose money a lot easier because this comes with more return. And when you start your own business, now you have to invest your time and your money to grow a business with no guarantees, but you have the highest potential. You need to ask yourself what kind of life you want to live and make sure that your risk is aligning with your life goals. Money law number 5. Money is a game. If you wanted to be a good basketball player, you have to learn the rules of the game and then you have to practice until you can make free throws with your eyes closed. Money works the same way. It's just a game. If I bring back this chart, the good news is all of this can be learned. This is what financial education is. You probably didn't have a class on this in school, but this can be learned. If you want to get good at these games, you got to learn the rules, practice, make mistakes, and get better. We have tons of videos on our Minority Mindset YouTube channel that can help you with that, and we even have a free ebook on money management and investing that you can read for free when you sign up for my emails, and you can download that by clicking the link up here or by clicking the link in the description below. Money law number 6. Negative minds repel money. If you wanted to repel Superman, all you need is some kryptonite. And if you just want to repel money, all you need is a negative mind. When you criticize somebody else's success, you're not hurting them. They're successful, they're doing their thing, and they're not going to stop being successful because you're upset. But you are stopping yourself from becoming successful when you criticize success. And that's not all. You will 100% without a doubt never become successful if you tell yourself you cannot do it. You can't do it, Jasprit. When you tell yourself you can't do something, your brain shuts off and it will stop trying, which is why instead of saying you can't do something, ask yourself, how can I do something? Money law number 7. What you're worth on paper is not what you're worth in cash. The cash in your hand is how much money you can spend today without selling any of your assets and without selling any of your investments. The amount of money you're worth on paper is how much you think you're worth based on the assets that you own. Just because your stock portfolio is worth $1 million today doesn't mean it'll be worth $1 million tomorrow. So what does this mean? It means you should absolutely not live a lifestyle based off of what you think you're worth on paper. You should be living a lifestyle based off of how much cash you have in your hand. I cannot tell you the number of business people that I have worked with that start living these huge lavish lifestyles because of what they think they're worth on paper. And then when things go wrong, these are also the first people in line to lose their shirts. Money law number 8. Protect your assets. I'm an attorney, and as an attorney, I can tell you that when people see you have money, they will try to take their hand, put it in your pocket, and take some of your money from you just because they see you got it. Get insurance, use legal shields, hire an attorney, and hire a tax professional to help you with your taxes because you want to keep your wallet for yourself instead of sharing it with the whole world. Hey, get your hands off my wallet! Money law number 9. Act your wage. Everyone on Instagram has a Nissan GTR, a Lambo, or a Porsche. At least that's what it feels like. But just because you can buy it doesn't mean you can afford it. If you cannot buy your car with cash, you cannot afford it. Sorry, fake Instagram flexers. And when it comes to buying a car for the show, so I'm talking about luxury and exotic cars here, if you cannot buy 5 of them with cash, you cannot afford 1 of them. Whoa, then I'm gonna need a lot of money before I can buy a Lambo. Yeah, that's the point. When I was finally starting to see some success as an entrepreneur, I really wanted to go out and buy a brand new Beamer. And all of my friends around me kept saying, Jaspreet, go buy the BMW. It will look sweet. It would have cost me like $50,000, which I had ready to go. But do you know what $50,000 can do when you're starting off as an entrepreneur or starting a business? $50,000 is a full-time employee's salary. $50,000 is rent for a year. $50,000 is a new software that can make us more money. There's nothing wrong with buying nice things or buying luxury things, but you should only be buying luxury when you can afford to buy it without worrying about the price tag. And money law number 10. Diversification isn't always the right answer. You've probably heard people say that millionaires have 7 streams of income. But what you're missing at the end of that statement is that the millionaire didn't become a millionaire because they had 7 streams of income. They became a millionaire because they mastered one thing. And once they figured this one thing out, that's when they moved on to 2. And once they mastered the second, that's when they moved on to 3. If you try to do 7 things at once because you think that's what millionaires do, so you try to start a business, you try to start lending money to your cousin, you try to start flipping real estate, you try to start the Shopify business, you will go nowhere. Be the master of 1 first, and once you dominate that, then move on to 2. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, share it with one friend. And if you don't want to miss our new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, then make sure you subscribe to the Minority Mindset YouTube channel and hit that little notification bell below, because if you don't, then YouTube won't let you know when our new videos are released. And as always, keep hustling.